Hello and welcome back to another Minhorus cartoon video here on my channel. This time we're doing Sweden versus Russia, and first this video is going to be two parts. First I'm going to do how it really was and see why I'm not using that, because it's so laggy, and I'm going with times 5 speed or times 10 speed in the whole video, if you wonder, because they are so slow. So yeah, and you will see the second part later. So already now you see why I'm not using this, because I think that this is much cooler, but it's too laggy, so it's not worth it. And yes, I could scale it down very much, but then it wouldn't be this. Then it would be less funny to look at. So yeah, I think I will take a break here and come back in part 2 of this video, so that is not too long, because it's gonna be a very long video. And let's just jump a little bit here, because now you have seen why I'm not using like this, because my computer is almost crashing off this. So, and the Swedish guys are gonna win this, around this many times, and I've seen the Swedish win all over again, because the Russians are retreating, and which make the Swedish guys able to kill them. And it's only because of this part here. And now the Swedish are retreating a little bit, which make this more efficient, and then they are just gonna kill the Russians. So let's jump into the part 2 of this video, and we'll see there. And the only thing that I don't like with this mod is that the smoke are staying, or not staying so long, but you can't make a mod perfect. So I'll see you then. So welcome on to part 2. Here we see the start of the Russian, or the end of the Russian convoy or army. This bridge is just built because otherwise the Russians would stay here. Stand here and stay here for the rest of the battle, which were these Russians. Then we have more Russians here, and we have a Swedish patrol group that is just patrolling, so that the Russians, like a scout group, so that the Russians can't attack them. Now they see the Russians, they have alerted the HQ, and they are gonna do their last stand here against the Russians. Then we have some more Swedish positions that were sent up, because they had a scout group over here, which were quickly eliminated, and the Russians were keep on going. So these guys positioned themselves here to make their last stand or try to defeat the Russian army. Then we have some more Swedish guys here on the road. Then we have more Swedish defense positions here, and here we see the Swedish HQ here. An officer and a flag carrier. And over here we see some classic Swedish line defense. So over here we have a Swedish defense position. This defensive positions are gonna make big difference because this guy is the only guy that have that's in a bad position. Some more Swedish infantry, and one more defensive position, and that's it. So it's gonna be a little bit laggy in the beginning because all the Russians gonna move and fire, or not all are gonna fire, but many of them, and all these are gonna fire these guys and these guys. So let's try to position ourselves in a good position here, and let's click start. The Russians are falling, but they have so much guys that casualty wave won't be any problem for them, or it's going to be a problem but not a big problem. This is probably the strongest Swedish defensive position in manpower. I don't know why they would position their strongest position here, but they don't have any. What's the name for it? I don't remember. But they're out in the open and don't have any cover. Now some Russians are dying. Over here in the top here we see some more Russians storming down on the beach, and I'm gonna have my camera still here for a while the Russians are defeating these guys. These guys I think are out already, but these guys, when they are defeating those guys, or these guys defeat the Russians, which is a possibility. Now it's starting to lag here a little bit, but not in the part, like in the part 1. Yeah. So it's a nice Russian storm here. Their flag carriers are gonna stay probably, because they won't die. They will probably live, so they're staying back from the fight, because it's a shame if the flag are on the ground, which 2 flags are already. The Swedish guys have started to take some casualties, I think. I think it's more than we see. Yeah, as you saw, that flag carrier just died, and I was starting to hit the Russians very hard over here. We see one group here are probably eliminated, probably close to 2 groups, if not 2 groups already. So as I said, that is one of the strongest Swedish I can talk today. Position of manpower. So the Russians are pushing forward against the Swedish guys. And as I said, this is the BIFTA mod, the Born in Fire America mod. So yeah, it's not meant to be the Swedish version Russian. It's meant to be the US Revolution. But revolution, yeah, I don't know. The Russians are so they haven't spread out, so they can't use their manpower because they are so much. There's so much Russians here, but they are still taking way more casualties than the Swedish are. I think that probably all this section here is dead. Parts of this section. Over here we see this is probably intact almost. This are taking some casualties, and that's the border. So, and this are taking some casualties, not too many. So, and the Russians have taken so many casualties, but the Swedish have too. So, and I'm not favoring any faction here. Even if I'm Swedish myself, then I'm not favoring the Swedish. I'm just doing a realistic, or not a realistic battle, but almost. The Russians were way more and the Swedish were few, and yeah, but the Swedish had cavalry, and the Swedish cavalry were like other countries' hussars, but the hussars were later, so it's kind of like the early hussars. The Swedish had hussars too, but it was not a big difference between the regular cavalry and the hussars. So, and in this game we don't have any cavalry, so, and that's not, we have cavalry, but it's not useful. Now the Russians have taken or started to organize themselves. Not so much, but they have started to get every single man to the front. And the flag carriers are gonna stay away from the fight, because that's safest for them. So if you look from the Russian side here, we just see Swedish gunpowder smoke. If we look from the Swedish positions up here, it's a little bit laggy here when I move the camera, we see 1 million Russians. And the Swedish have started to die out in this position. Started to die in this position, so it's not so many left, which makes the Russians able to get to the next Swedish positions that are less defended, which make it easier for the Russians to get an easy victory. But it's not going to be easy because they have already taken so much casualties. Think of lying here and you know that you're gonna die, seeing all this gunpowder smoke from the other side of the river, and the million Russians, seeing your comrades die, and yeah. And the same for the Russians, but they are standing up, so, and they can survive this little skirmish in a big battle. So, and this isn't a true battle, this never happened. I just want to say that so that no one asks which battle this is. And I have it on times 5 speed because it's too slow otherwise. It's too slow now too, but it's not times 5, it's on 10 times 10. Yeah. It's not gonna happen so much here, so we can look at the Russian when they mobilizes their army to the front, or mobilized the army. That was weird. But as you see here, the Russians are lined up in a pretty weird formation, I would say. They have dropped 2 flags here. I saw that one. There's one and there's one. So yeah, but they have so much manpower left and soldiers, which Sweden don't have. They don't have so much left. If I were the Swedish now, I would withdraw to one strong position and then defend that position to death, because no, it's not. No, it's just gonna be waste of lives. It's a very good position to hold here, but they don't have so much cover. That's the problem with this position. If they had good cover, this would be the ultimate defended position. It would be like a impossible place to attack. But then the Russians would probably go around it and destroy it anyway. But as you see, they have taken so much casualties here from the beginning, and they haven't taken so much now, because the Swedish are so few left. It's like one group here, and some from this group, and some from this group, so it's like one whole group left in total of this position. Then we have more positions further back, but they are just going to be wiped out pretty fast. Not very fast, but these guys have started to kick in the battle. That is nice. That is really nice, because then the Russians are gonna have to focus on in 2 directions, so that they spread out their the soldiers. I mean, here we see the Swedish guys are getting up on the hill here, getting killed too. But you see a storm of Russians. I wouldn't like to see this. I would probably, I don't know what I would do. What would you do? Write in the comments. Because if I retreated, I would probably be killed by for deserting or something. And Swedish weren't retreating during this time, except for Poltava. But these guys don't even have to aim, they just have to look in this direction with the gun and fire one shot, and they will hit someone. Now it's starting to lag here. If you look at the Russians, they are not standing too close to each other. It's looking like it, but when you go down with the camera, you see that it is pretty much so that you can get through if you have to. So the Russians have a line here which is pretty strong. Then they have some guys going in that direction. Then they have the flag carrier standing back here. One flag carrier have dropped his flag, which is pretty stupid, because that means dishonor to his um, to the soldiers that he held the flag for, and the country. It's one thing if you die with the flag, but you're still gonna try to have it up high. Now you see, look at casualties here, not with the casualties view because that is destroying the feeling. But you see they have reduced the Swedish amount of soldiers living since we looked last time, without like very much. It's no one alive here, I would say. And these guys are under heavy fire, and now they're even getting up here on the other side of the river, so now the Swedish guys are dead too. After a very long time, and we see a load. We see a lot of Russians here. I would like to see how many casualties the like different players or different teams have taken during the battle. It's like a counter. That would be very interesting. The Russians have stopped here for the first time. They're not gonna stop this much during the whole battle later on. And this is the whole Russian army and a little bit of the Swedish army. Because it's only one officer. So yeah, this may be the front of the two armies. So I said wrong that this is the whole Russian army. It's not the whole Russian army, but if you see it like two scout groups from armies that is having a little battle, and then the whole armies are battling against each other too, or later on. They're starting to tie in the Swedish positions too, because of these guys over here. Though they are not gonna stop for killing these guys, they're just gonna lay down some fire, because of these guys are standing up. They are very easy targets, because the Russians fire like 300 bullets per second. They're like a very good modern machine gun, but that's just because there are so many. No, not really 300, but there are not even 300 in total, but they're firing very many bullets in a second. Especially now when it's times 10 speed. I would like times 20 speed. So this is gonna be a longer video. I think it's gonna be up for like an hour. If I don't cut it down a little bit, I will probably do that. I'm not sure. Maybe not. You'll see. If I were the Swedish commander here, I would withdraw all my troops that I have left to one position, because the Russians are so so big. They're not in the same place. They're like over the whole place, which make one strong position that trying to, or like a one spearhead that is trying to pierce the Russian army. If they do that, they're going to have a very... Holy, that was a lot of casualties here. I saw that now. That is probably as many casualties as they have left soldiers now. There are more soldiers left, but it were more casualties here than I thought. Here we see some Russians advancing on the Swedish position up here on the hill. Then we have some Swedish guys on the other side of the hill. And then we have Swedish guys here. This is not going to stop the Russian army so much. If this is the whole Russian army, they're going to get defeated in the next battle. So, and as I said, I'm not for Russia or for Sweden. I like Sweden because I'm from Sweden, but I'm not in this battle. I'm not favorizing anyone. Except the fact that I think that the Swedish uniforms are more beautiful than the Russians, because I don't think that green and red are suiting with each other. But that does not mean that I don't like Russia. We have 3 soldiers left here. One are flag carrier, 2 have guns, 1's retreating a little bit, 1 footstep. If you were this flag carrier, what would you do when you see all these Russian soldiers and know that it's more than this that are coming against you? I would probably just stay, because whatever you do, you're gonna be dead. You're gonna be dead here in battle, or you're gonna be executed for something. And here the Russian soldiers have rushed up to this guy, and he's dead. Rest in peace. Then we have the next Swedish defense line here. We see the Russian gunpowder smoke. We see the Swedish position here. Encountered in battle. Some Russians have got up here, and now Swedish soldiers start to die. I haven't seen that the I haven't seen that the corpses are more green than the living are. They are. I saw that now, and I've seen that once before, but I'm not thinking about it. Here's coming one more Russian soldier here, and is that 2. They're finally down in the ground here. I don't think that they are, but it's looking like they will. So, this Swedish position is pretty much cleaned out, wiped out, probably more than cleaned out. This position is not is probably soon gonna get killed, because this Russian army have defeated the last Swedish guys over here, they're gonna turn against this position. These guys have just changed side of the log, I think. No, they haven't. I saw wrong, but what are they doing up on this stone? They are very easy targets when they're staying up here. But I would probably not shoot at them. I would probably shoot at this massive horde here, because you can't miss this horde. You can't. Or you can, but then very, very, very bad. And this Swedish flag carrier is standing here, knowing that he don't have any weapons, so he's gonna die. I wouldn't like to be a flag carrier during this period. This may be the thumbnail, you'll see. You see the city over here, and then you turn and see the whole Russian army. Or maybe not the whole Russian army, but the whole Russian army that are attacking today. So, as you see, the Russian army are advancing against the Swedish position, as I said. So these guys are in trouble, and this flag carrier too. He's just standing there, and he's dead. Oh well. These guys are the last standing here on this Swedish position, except these two of them. Why are you aiming at your comrade? Oh well. Or comrade. Not Russian. These Swedish guys have started to gain the battle. But that is not gonna change much of the tide here in this battle. If the Russian army don't get close to this part over here, which I don't think that they are gonna be, so that they just get this position up here and then get down here, then I'm gonna just spawn some Swedish guys here that are getting this Russian army to attack this Swedish guys. But I think that the Russians will attack. I think. Otherwise I could just place some flag carriers, because they don't shoot and they don't do any damage to the Russians. But the Russians are going after them, so but then I'll do that later in the battle. As I said, this will have, I think it's half an hour. This will be now, and the battle level hasn't gone to an end yet. It's like half the battle left. So this is gonna be like an hour special. So the Russians are advancing here. They're keep on dying because of all the Swedish guys that are spread out in the forest here.